Have you ever felt like your guitar tone got lost and muddy, especially after you've had some reverbs into your preset and everything just get all crowded and all muddy and you can't really hear yourself? All you hear is that reverb. It's shiny, it's bright, it's loud, but it just doesn't sound like all the pros that use this effect when they are creating their preset or recording or whatsoever. Many of us guitar players actually struggle to create spatial sounds without sacrificing clarity. As much as you want all that space in your guitar tone, there's also that problem with getting that your clarity and that your guitar sounding as normal and as natural as possible while still maintaining your wet effect. Now, I've struggled with this personally, so this video will show you exactly how to craft a beautiful tone with your existing reverbs. Like, you don't need to buy another pedal. There's no pedal that's going to be better than the one that you already own. So how you can use either your HX Stomp, your QC, all these methods I'm going to be teaching you today will apply to most of the modular units and including the analog pedals as well. So stay tuned. What if I actually told you like you can actually add massive space to your guitar tone without you sacrificing clarity? You can see here your original guitar tone and all that reverb is going to be adding to it. And all it should be adding to it is just more space and fullness and more ambience, but then the guitar tone will still be at the center of it. Matthew Sato has mastered this. You will hear his clean tones, great tones, and you still hear all the reverb and all the shininess. John Cordy as well have mastered this act of adding reverb to your sound without sacrificing your clean tone. The first thing that most of us actually miss is actually the fundamentals of reverbs, of adding reverbs to your presets. Once you miss all the fundamentals, the mix, the pre-delay, the EQing, once you don't understand all that is and you just drop in a delay or a reverb pedal in front of your signature or behind your signature, however you like it, if you don't understand how all these parameters work and how they actually help you shape your tone, then you're going to be in a deep muddy mess. All right, for lack of a better explanation. So let me stop talking and let me just take you to HX Effects and just experiment with these sounds and show you exactly what it is. One other thing that most people do not take advantage of is pre-delay. Pre-delay actually separates your original sound and the wet sound. What that does is you can set timing on how long it takes for that reverb to kick in. Most people don't understand that. And of course, EQing. When you talk about EQ, you're probably just thinking about your tone. It can actually EQ your reverb tone as well. Another major factor is actually your placement, where you actually place your reverbs. A lot of people like to put it at the end of their signature, like myself. But sometimes where you actually place them is very important. For example, if you're going straight into another amp, putting your reverb at the end of your chain will make no sense because you see hitting the front of the amp with your reverb pedal. So sometimes you might need to actually find your way around FX Loop and just play around with how those reverb works. And I'm going to be showing you guys all that in the mix. So my name is Dami. I'm a guitar player and audio engineer and everything in between. If you like videos like this that teaches you how to get better sound with what you already own without buying a new one, consider subscribing to the channel. And let's head over to my Helix Native and let's talk about stuff over there. So that just a subtle spring chambers delay, reverb rather, and that's the one you're looking at right here. There's not much going on here. I have my mix is 25. Now, if I turn that mix all the way up here to like 76, what does it sound like? You can hear it just gives me more of the guitar, more of the reverb, and it doesn't take away my original guitar tone. You can see here the guitar, and watch this. Now I have the pre-delay at 100 milliseconds. Now let me drop that to like 0 milliseconds, and you're gonna hear what that sounds like. You can already feel like I'm losing a lot of clarity there, right? Now let me increase it all the way to 160 so you can hear the drastic difference. Now let me drop the mix down to, you know, around 30%. So moderation is key here. You just want to make sure you're not putting too much, you're just putting just enough. And for more, you know, for more invasive reverbs, like, you know, the glids, which is more like an ambient sound, let's hear what that sounds like with the way I have it in my preset here. I have the mix at 15% and I have the pre-delay at 130 milliseconds. And if you notice something about here, we have EQ. They are very important. So this is it with it. You will notice that the reverb comes in almost after my guitar note already makes its own statement. It comes in after. That's why the pre-delay is very important. You want it to be slow to catch up. It should be right under your guitar, not over the guitar. Now, if I put the pre-delay to 0 or 1 milliseconds, let's see how that sounds. So you can see how important it is just to be subtle with it. With the decay will tell you how much shine and how much decay you get underneath. So what I've done with mine is just leave it not too much, because I'm not trying to create an ambient sound. If I'm creating a more ambient sound, then I'll push it up to the limit. I always leave my low cut around 160. It's kind of a good place to stay, and the high cut around 7.3. Usually I could push it up to like 12 kilohertz, because, you know, it's just taming my top end and just, you know, making sure I don't get anything below 160 hertz in the mix. And the mix, you can play with it however you want, but the goal here is to make sure that your guitar tone still comes out on top. I'll have this preset for you guys in the link, so if you like this preset, if you don't want to do all the work, you just want to download it and start playing, I will leave it in the description. It's free, you can grab it there. But I hope you guys learned 1 or 2 things here with actually playing with your reverb and reducing the amount of mix that you have. And the level here can actually do a lot of things here. It can boost it up, so just, you know, working like another boost pedal. But if you don't need that, you can just leave it at 0.3 or just leave it at 0, so it's doing really nothing to your signal, if that makes sense. And that's pretty much it. Your rate, I just leave that at 4. I really don't. The depth, you can actually turn that down or turn it up if you want. And yeah, I just leave every other thing. You know, we can play with the mod mix, or you can turn that down or turn that up. That just plays with the effects. So some reverbs will have some modulation effects as well embedded into that, so that's why you will have the mod mix and all that good stuff. So far I hope you guys have been able to learn something, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.